All right, good evening, everybody. This is the June board meeting of the Philadelphia Folk Song Society. My name is Miles Thompson. I'm the president of the society. And the first order of business is that I would like to call this meeting to order. The first piece of business we are going to look at is a review of the minutes. Did that end up getting out in a timely fashion, everybody?
It was posted, yes, this
Okay,
morning.
good. So we are going to vote to approve the minutes. I need somebody to pass that motion, please. Or to one of the board members, please put forward a motion to approve the minutes from last month.
I will.
Okay,
I will.
thank you. All right.
Okay.
All right. I've been told that I
Oh.
shouldn't be the one doing that. So,
Okay.
all right.
And we have a quorum, so we're good to vote on it.
And we need to vote on it. So all in favor of the minutes?
Second it.
Thank you. All in favor of the minutes? Say aye.
Aye.
Rob? In favor of the minute? Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, everybody, good evening. I'm just banging around with a thing or two here. Hang on, I'm sorry. Come on, there it is. All right. Okay, so just as a piece of the president's update, many of you in the meeting know that our community recently lost Vicki Miller, who was a longtime volunteer in the medical tent at Fest. This week, we received several donations, or in the last 2 weeks, in her memory. We did receive 2 in check form the other day that came in yesterday from Nancy Flitter and Barbara Spilov. Hope I pronounced that right. And we have been asked to notify Vicki's family that people are indeed putting forth are giving donations in her memory. And Eric Robbins, if you'd like to speak to the other money that came in her honor.
Well, I know many people gave through our website through the Give Butter. I know Rob Braylow gave a generous donation, and many others. I don't have the names right now, but anyone can jump on our website and see the list.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And for those of you who gave money in her honor, thank you very much. If anybody knows family members and how to get in touch with them, please email that to me at mthompson@pfs.org, and I'll just let them know that we have received money in her honor. And as we do at all things like this, I'm asking us to sorry, I lost it. We're asking everyone to hold Vicki's memory in love and light, and to offer good vibes and love to her family. A couple of pieces. Eric Robbins will be responding to requests for refunds. We've had only one of these recently, but our policy, as stated on the website, is that there will be no refunds of ticket sales. That is keeping with most major festivals across the United States. And obviously, you know, we're not in a position to be giving anything back if we can avoid it. So we understand stuff happens, but it is posted on the website. And the final piece is for all of our assembled members. We need to drive ticket sales. We are in what Kimberly calls the doldrums. This is that period between when the diehards bought most of their tickets and when we get a big upsurge in tickets in the last 30 days prior to the festival. And being the nervous Nelly that I am, I don't want to trust in that. So I'm asking our members to talk up Fest to their friends, to create word of mouth excitement, especially for potential ticket buyers who do not use social media, because there are some folks out there. And we absolutely want as many people. I've run into people recently who I only vaguely know who thought that it was dead and wasn't happening. So if you all out there would not mind talking it up to your friends, that would be great. Also, we do have those discount codes that are active through the 15th of July. One is for first-time members and one is for college students. Is that still correct, Kimberly?
That is correct, and I'll have more on that in my section as well.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, those are first-time college students.
Yes. Okay, sorry. I'm struggling today. I don't know what's going on. First thing I want to do is I do want to we actually have a bunch of good money news, and I'd like to have Eric Robbins do his finance report.
Okay, thank you, Miles. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so this month we had approximate $5,000 loss, which is just indicative of us spending more on the festival than we're taking in right now. As you all know, we had a big surplus from selling tickets from inception, and now we're starting to spend money. But $5,000 of spending in excess of revenue is actually pretty good. We did pay off our line of credit. We had it maxed out at 100,000 for a couple years, and it's finally paid off. It was 10,000 as of last meeting, and now it is 0. And then we had approximately 53,000 in festival ticket sales this month. So if we look at the income statement for the month, you can see not much going on for the society column, kind of indicative of what we see each month, about $5,000 of dues and donations and 3,000 of expenses. So we did have a deficit at the society, so we're kind of growing it a little bit there. And then the most activity you see is in that festival column, 53,000 in ticket sales. We do have our money invested, earned $500 in interest income. So we had total revenue of about 54,000. We spent about 61,000. That's made up of a large down payment to the sound company, about $20,000 of performer deposits, and a payment to our deposit to our porta potty company. So the end result is we have 323,000 in ending net assets for the festival, which is representative of cash. We can take a look at the balance sheet and you'll see that we have 342,000 in total cash, 323,000 of it is for the festival. And our liabilities are pretty down to 0, pretty close. 5,000 just that estimate on the t-shirt sales, but looks like Rob is going to be able to beat that, which is great. And then we still have some old bills that we are paying down or trying to settle. That's it for the treasurer's report.
You're on mute.
I'm on mute and I can't even find myself. All right. I want to point out, thank you, Rob, that see where I'm going. Thank you, Eric. I want to point out that $100,000 debt has been dogging us for like 2 years. It's now retired. It's gone. It's done, which also means should we need it, we still have now an active credit line of $100,000. Should we need that? Big thanks to Eric Robbins and big thanks to everybody who's given us money to keep us floating, because that's where that money came from. So yeah, thank you all very much. All right. Eric Ring, what you got for us?
So the only news on the tax front, actually 2 things. One, there were some payroll returns that had not been filed back in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Those have been filed, but now the IRS is kind of working with those. It's more complicated because there was also an application for the employee retention credit that was submitted. So now things aren't matching up exactly. Once all the notices come in, then I'll call the IRS and I'll kind of straighten things out with them. But we're filing some of the original returns that hadn't been filed. The other aspect is I do have the financials that Eric Robbins gave me, and I'll be preparing the 990, within the next probably 30 days and have that filed timely. So for a tax situation, that's pretty much what's going on.
And just so that our membership is clear, this is continuing to be something that's a holdover from before pretty much anybody here was involved. So just it's that old and it just keeps biting us. So we're gonna lick it. We'll get it taken care of. All right, Rob, would you talk about development stuff, please?
Sure, Miles, thank you. So, as people remember, we have various phases of fundraising. We were in the sponsorship phase, which will be closing soon. Our budgeted goal it was to do $75,000 in sponsorships. We've approached 24 sponsors, 8 former sponsors, 16 new sponsors. Right now, we're at 77% of where we want to be. We have $61,000 committed. We want to get to 75,000. So we're still looking for $14,000 in sponsorships with very little time left. So if anybody would love to be a sponsor, we'll be very happy, or if you know a company. But we have outstanding right now more than a dozen companies still we're waiting to hear from. But that is a very important thing that we're going to be soon closing on, because there's only so much time for sponsorships. We do have a lot of time left for ads. Right now, we're just getting started. We have some ads that we want to, ad material we want to spread around. And Jess is going to put something up on the screen in a moment that kind of shows what we can do to move our ads. We have a $10,000 goal with ads. We've raised about 2,500 so far. And if anybody was trying to pay for an ad, I believe the solution I believe it's been fixed, but see me if there's a problem. Meanwhile, there's a couple different ways you can do an ad. You can create a shout out in honor of a loved one. We have ads that range all the way from $40 to $1,000, but PFS people will get significant off on all levels if they're members. The other thing we're looking at is trying to go to a local store or business. If everybody would just go to one local store or business, we'd be able to blow that $10,000 goal out of the, we'd be able to really hit it real nicely. So I'm losing my metaphors at this point of the day, but basically, what's going to happen? You see that nice little arrow. If you want to know, well, what do we tell these stores? What do we give them? You just go to that. I believe it's the little bit.ly PFS ads. Is that the right one, Jess? Or is it the
Yes, it's the bit.ly, and it's in the chat now. And then you'll see the
Fabulous.
ad letter that you can use to explain to folks.
Fabulous. And while I went to the majority of these sponsors, this couldn't be done without a team. First of all, Jess is the whiz as far as getting all the technology ready for the ads. I want to thank Sue Deckhart, who put it on the website. I also want to thank Jeanette Perlswag, who just broke her arm, so she was my go-to for submitting sponsorships. So if anybody wants to help submit a few more sponsorships that doesn't have a broken arm, that would be helpful. And she did a great job. And Joe Henderson, of course, who reached out, made a lot of calls. But we're not there yet. We're at 77%. For the ads, we need a lot more people to give a lot more ads still to make our $10,000 goal. So we got some work to do. If we fall short, or even if we don't fall short, we're still going to do one more fundraising thing before the festival. We're not going to be asking members for money, but we are going to ask if they'd like to be part of a Fest Friendathon, which means that you get to let other people know about Fest and see if they would like to give a few bucks here and there. We're talking small dollars, like, $10, $25, whatever. But you'll hear more about that soon. That is the brainstorm of Erin Gorse. And once she is ready to help us again, she had a baby, so she's a little bit out of commission for a while. That's our one last thing we're doing before the Fest. So I know it was a long report just now, but hopefully if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. And Rob, take a breath, and I want you to report on the Musical Artists Cooperative.
Oh, we've got exciting stuff happening with Musical Artists Cooperative. Hats off to all of the musicians. And Jess could put a little graphic on. I want to particularly, again, point out all the incredible work that Maura Levine has been doing as far as administration, as well as our growth. Certainly, the growth, a lot of it has to do with Jefferson, who's a whirlwind of activity. And we have all these concerts. The booking has been primarily handled by our booking committee. Coming up, most importantly, tomorrow night, if you don't feel like seeing the debates, if it's going to give you an ulcer, come on out to the Falzer Club. You will be seeing some amazing performers, and that includes Megan Carey and Irene Landro, and also Phyllis Chappelle. And very excitingly, you can see a lot of other shows. Some of these are free. They're all discounted for PFS. Another very exciting thing, I know that Maura is still running, along with Tom Cooney, our our monthly Zoom open mic, which includes a lot of national performers. It's been very exciting, and that will continue every third Wednesday. But we're finally getting back to our in-person open mic. We're having it after John Byrne plays the Keswick Theater Annex on July 18th, and anybody can be part of that. July 16th, excuse me. Anybody could be part of that open mic. You don't have to be part of MAC to be part of it. So we hope to see some of you out there with your guitars and pianos, etc. So we're very excited. A lot of activity going on. Thanks.
Rob,
Thanks,
thank
Peter.
you.
Thanks again.
Thank you. And I think the next question is, this is listed as a Rob report, but I don't know that it really, it's maybe Rob and Jess. Usually at this point, we do a membership report.
Jess has been doing a lot of work, and Erin was texting back to her, so I'll let her take away with that.
Okay, thank you, Jess. Thank you, Rob.
Sure.
You are muted, Jess.
You
There
did. Got it. Sorry. As Rob, I can only do two things at once. Sorry, I couldn't press the mute button and share. As Rob mentioned, Erin did have a baby. We're so happy for her. And she has really been our main volunteer supporting our membership lists and making sure everything's updated. So if you got an auto email regarding your membership maybe expiring, but you know it didn't, don't worry, you're in good shape. We are, we're working through everything without our main volunteer there. So thanks for your patience there. But these are our rough numbers. We may have a correction next month, but this is as good as we can get for right now. So in May, we had reported that we had 1,173 members. And this month, I personally counted 11 expiring members and then 38 additional memberships since May. There were not as many in June of last year, so I'm really excited about that. And some of those are renewals from even 2022. So that's great too, that we're engaging more people from years past. So thank you everyone for renewing, and then also welcome to our new members. Check your emails for reminders to renew. If you're sure you renewed, don't worry about it. But if you are not quite sure, want to check, you can always search your email for that receipt, and you can find out if you did indeed renew your membership, or email us and we'll let you know. Also, just a side note about our True Believers, we're really excited. We're looking at some designs for the t-shirts that will be coming your way at Fest. So that's just an exciting update. Rob, if you want to tag in there at all, feel free to. You're muted too. Sorry. Do you have anything to add about the True Believers?
We're going to have your t-shirts at the festival, and we want to thank you again. We're going to, looks like Bucksman Awards right now is going to give us a great deal because they're great supporters of the fest. So you'll have t-shirts at the festival. We're figuring out the logistics still though.
Yes, and we have your contact information to find out your size. And our dedicated volunteer, Kara, has graciously provided us with a really good looking design. So we're moving right along there, which is really exciting. All right, I think that's it for the membership update, unless you have anything else to add, Rob. Thank you.
No, all right. Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Jess, in particular. I want to circle back to Eric Ring, who was going to talk about something, and I moved on before he got to finish. So go ahead, Eric.
It's okay, because it wasn't part of taxes. So the other kind of exciting thing that we are putting together is we put a team or have a group that is going to be doing a podcast for the Folk Song Society, tentatively, and I think permanently, because I like the name. It's the Smiling Banjo Podcast. Right now we have Emily Drinker is going to be a co-host, and Michael Braunfeld is also going to be a co-host, although he's going to be a little bit light in the beginning, given his fest director obligations. The idea is we're going to have, it'll be probably 30 to 45 minutes. We're going to start off trying to do it as a video podcast with a audio upload to streaming services And it is a little bit sort of in the making right now. We want to work out some of the bugs, but we'll have artist interviews and music, and hopefully have a lot of fun with it. So something to look forward to. I think it'll come out about once a month, and we're going to try to get the first episode out towards the end of July.
Thank you. This is the night of people not unmuting. Thank you, Eric. I think that's a really cool thing. Let me move over to communications issues, which I now have listed as under Jess. I don't know if there's what else you may have that. It's really Jess and Kimberly. So go ahead.
Sure, I can start off with more PFS related, and I'll turn it to Kimberly for more of the fest communications and marketing. Of course, she's the whiz there. So I will just share my screen one more time here. Hopefully you like the tie-dye. So just a couple real quick announcements about community outreach. We are distributing posters for folks to hand out to local businesses. In the past, people have done that, and we've seen a real increase in ticket sales. So music stores, also kids activities events, other community events. So and there was an idea also about business cards. So that's another thing out there that we're distributing and getting started for right after the 4th of July holiday. Also, some tabling opportunities have presented themselves again, and there used to be a group that did that quite frequently. So if you were a part of that group, you can expect to hear from me soon, because we have some tabling ideas and opportunities. We would love for you to spread the word about not just the society, but also Fest, of course. So both, and it's a great way to engage with our community and let people know that Fest is back. And we're here, and we're really excited about this year's Fest. So the other thing is just, you can see on the screen here some partnership concerts. You already heard about the Keswick Annex and our free MAC show, along with the in-person open mic, plus the virtual open mic. So both will be happening. But then we have an exciting a lineup also of Rising Sun Presents shows that, of course, our members can get 10% discount on. And look out for the ticket giveaways. If you're interested in seeing Jackie Green with Greg Silver or Hoots and Hellmouth with the Niels, then please, check that out, because enter to win, you can win a free pair of tickets. And things are moving along with our program book too. And that's really the main updates I have on the PFS side, and I can turn it over to Kimberly. I know she has a lot to share for Fest. Thank you.
Before we do, where's the Justin Hayward Christopher Cross concert?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's at the Keswick Theater.
That's Keswick. Okay.
Yep.
So again, hitting a certain slice of our demographic right there. Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. Good. Okay, Kimberly, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Miles. Thanks to the board. If I may share my screen, I can let everyone know, give you a visual what's going on. Okay, here we go. We have a lot of very exciting things happening. As we're getting closer to Fest, I just wanted to tell everybody that we're moving from the information gathering and scheduling phase into the launching of contests, the sharing of schedules. Ads are going to start to run as we're ramping up to 60, 30, 2 weeks, and then Fest. And part of that is shifting the marketing meetings. They are no longer going to occur weekly on Thursday, at least my meetings are not. They're going to be more project focused. And big shout out to Cami for taking the lead and project managing all the marketing and festival needs. So that's going to be the shift. You all may have noticed this. Big news, everyone. We have hired a publicist. I'd like everyone to welcome Maggie Poulis from Mixtape Media. Thanks to Michael Braunfeld and Andy. It was a hole in what we needed. Press releases were going out to all media, but the pitches didn't have the bandwidth for it. So Maggie has graciously, she's going to come on board. Michael and I are meeting with her at 10 o'clock this Friday, and she's going to jump in with both feet into the deep end of the pool. And today I sent her a huge package to onboard her. So that is extremely exciting. Michael may want to speak to that because he met with her and I heard she has nothing but amazing ideas. So that is fantastic. just today, I confirmed several contest packages with the Valley Forge Board of Tourism. We're going to have 2 different streams of packages with them. One of them is going to be a VIP package, which will include 2 VIP tickets plus 3 nights at a local hotel that the Valley Forge Board of Tourism is going to coordinate for us. So that is super exciting. That's going to go out in their big newsletter. And then they're also going to help us in their newsletter and social media by giving away 10 pairs of day passes. So watch for those things to come down the pipeline. Speaking of Valley Forge Board of Tourism, here is a preview of what our billboard is going to look like. It will have a 5-week run. I want to give a shout out to R.S. Wallace, who created this graphic. She was limited to 7 words, folks. That's not easy to do. So this will begin in mid-July. It will run throughout the weekend of Fest, so that way we can pull people in the mornings. It's going to run on the Schuylkill Highway, which gets approximately 500,000 views per week, which will give us an estimated 2.5 million views by the end of the 5-week run, which is not too shabby. So that's what's happening with Valley Forge. I'm going to jump on to more of these contests because set one up with WDIY, which is in the Lehigh Valley. We, again, are going to give away 10 pairs of day passes. They're going to do interviews with our performers. They're going to give us shout outs on social media, inclusion in their exclusive members only newsletter, and we're going to have a DJ or 2 MC. And I'll let my festival director partners tell you more on that. But here's the biggest, most exciting thing. Well, not the biggest, most exciting, but this is pretty exciting. Through that partnership, we will be running ads on NPR syndicated shows, Fresh Air, All Things Considered, and The Morning Edition. I don't know about y'all, but that, I'm just over the moon. I'm meeting with XBN tomorrow to confirm the contesting details there. And we want to give a special thanks to Ian Zollider, who every week mentions the festival on his folk show. So y'all show him some love, give him a follow online, listen to the show, and also to all of these radio partners that are coming online, including the Folk Music Notebook. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with Ron and his all the good work he does promoting folk music. Well, thanks to Ron and Megan Carey, they will be running 30-second ads for us, doing performer interviews, and also giving away day passes. Speaking of radio, thank you again to Mara Levine. She has secured interviews with DJs, and they are all spreading the word, and she's doing incredible work with her outreach. Let's see. Now we're going to go into messaging and marketing. We announced the MAC Showcase Stage, the Extreme Folk Scene Showcase Stage, the performers, and the days. We've extended Media Pass applications, and a lot of people are now coming in from media and putting those in, which is awesome. Want to give a shout out to Trish and Six, who I don't know if y'all have been watching the YouTube channel lately, but every Fest performer who's coming back this year, they have put together archival videos, and those are coming out daily on YouTube. And I just want to thank them again. They're doing an incredible job on all the videos. This is just to remind me that yesterday I sent out a press release to media, but not to any of the members because we're having a very special promotion to get first timers through the door. And we are naming it the First on the First because it starts July 1st. So all first timers who want to attend can save between 25 and 50%. 50% is for the first time college students, and the 25% is for anyone of any age who has never attended before. And we are extending and opening up the sale. You can save 25% on day passes. This is limited quantities. It's a very short time period. These prices and these promo codes are only usable on the 1st through the 17th. So tell your friends, okay? Tell everybody you know. Scream it from the rooftops. Do whatever you need to do. I'm going to go down to the performers. To date, we have announced 57 acts, and we added on 4 more. Turtle Ridge, Dylan Zangwell, Jackson Pines, and Theo Kendall are also going to join us. The committee chairs, as Michael and Andy will talk about, are beginning to advance the festival. They're reaching out to performers. They're securing and confirming hospitality, production, and transport needs. All performers have been asked to submit a short promotional video to promote the festival and their performance. Merch committee updated their merch agreements. Those were sent out. The goal is to start sharing schedules on July 1st because I need to do that in order to coincide with the first on the 1st so people can choose their day passes. The official poster is in the works. Big thanks to Kara. She's designing all the key elements of all of our festival graphics. The theme, for those of you that don't know, is rebirth. And she's pulling from, here is the original, Botticelli Birth of Venus, which hangs in the Uffizi. Well, Kara just put a banjo on that and made it our own, which I just think it's a perfect representation. Working on the badge arts. Here is a sample. This is the VIP badge. So this is a sample of what the badges will look like. Currently working on all the things, program books, updating wiki pages, things that we're doing in the background, Google Maps. We have photographers that are helping add photos to make our Google presence more up to date. In fact, I got an email from Google last week that in 30 days, we had 3,000 people review the photos in our Google Maps. That's a pretty big number. We're working on, thanks to Eric Ring and Michael Braunfeld, the Media Pass agreement. We're working on the FAQs page. I have more volunteer videos to share, the performer videos, the schedule, and here are the main marketing messages that you will be seeing coming out. We're working on the FAQs, soliciting volunteers. The camp festival, the camping ticket, is our best-selling ticket, always and forever. So we're going to put a big push on that. Kids 4 and under get in free. Don't forget to tell your friends that and make some family memories. And then obviously the music. So that's our key messaging. A couple more things of note. Jenny Goddery will be running the photo pit this year. And I'm excited to welcome her. And I just want to thank everybody again, all the volunteers on the marketing team, the communications team, the press team, everyone who has come together to really put their shoulders to the wheel and make this festival a huge success. So thank you all.
Thank you, Kimberly. Eric Ring, go ahead.
Yeah, Kimberly, can you just clarify? I think the graphic said that the promo codes are good until the 7th, and you said the 17th.
Oh, my bad. Yes, the 7th. Thank you.
That is the 7th. Okay.
It is the 7th, correct.
Correct. Okay, good. Yeah. Thanks. Steve Ram caught that and right. I got it. Thank you, Steve. All right. Excellent. Let me go back to where I was. All right. Let's talk about governance issues. Let me get from hear from George. George, where do we have anything going on?
Just one thing, we'll be asking for society members who want to be considered for the Board of Directors election at the end of this year. We would like them to get in contact with me sometime during the month of July. We'd like to have the names in July so we can provide them with the documents that they'll need to submit for getting on the election slate in December. So they can send it to gpfs.org, I believe is correct.
Awesome.
And of course, anybody on the board, please let me know if you have some recommendations as well.
Awesome.
Board of Directors positions, yes.
Thank you, George.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Okay. Let's turn this now over to the festival management team collectively. We've heard from Kimberly a bunch. Let me hear from Andy and Michael. Andy, go ahead. You're still muted. There you go.
It's contagious. I think based on what we've already heard, maybe Michael should go first.
Okay.
We'll
Michael?
turn that over.
Yeah, well, Kimberly was gracious enough to mention most of the things that I'm working on. Just to expand on the outside PR firm hire, Maggie Poulos of Mixtape Media. I've been working with her for about 5 years now. Extremely well versed and focused on the Americana and folk scene. In addition to that, she is local. So not only does she have the ability to get the word out on a national level, her contact list in terms of regional press, television, radio, and print will be an incredible asset. And she's hit the ground running, already has some great ideas. And as Kimberly said, we'll be meeting first thing Friday morning to all get on the same page, at which point hopefully I can bow out of the rest of that. The other thing that I would mention, most importantly, just to address some of Nervous Nellie's concerns, is we have secured a partnership with Godfrey Daniels, which I think is long overdue for the society and that room, but should help to address some of Miles' concerns. We're going to be giving Godfrey Daniels 90-minute set during the festival that will look very similar to our partnership with XFS this year. They'll be programming the stage, and we'll be sharing, excuse me, mailing list announcements, socials, and getting plugged from their coffee house. They also have a stage at Music Fest this year, so we'll be able to pound the Lehigh Valley a little bit with that, and I think it's a good thing all around.
And I agree with you. That's long overdue. That's a long overdue relationship. Yep. Thank you, Michael. Andy.
Yeah, thanks, Miles. I am actually on. Okay. A couple things that are not directly festival related. Miles, with regard to the Vicki Miller announcement you made earlier, I don't know whether you or any of the others have seen it, but when the obituary came out, it said that donations should go to the Folk Song Society, and that was repeated at the service. We were mentioned quite frequently by those speaking at that service, and on the little handout, the request for donations was also mentioned. I'm not sure how to get in touch with Vicky's family, but Brian Kraft, our head of medical and emergency committees, will know. He was very close with Vicky and the family, and he'll put you in touch. For what it's worth, and those of you who may have a need to be out on the grounds early, I got an email tonight from Kevin O'Donnell, one of the supervisors in Upper Salford, that from July 1st to July 3rd, Clemers Mill Road will be closed because of a pipe repair. And you can get in from one end and you can get in from the other end on Springmount Road or Salford Station, but not at the middle. So you won't be able to get all the way through. In that regard, the grounds crew and certain others have already begun work, perhaps a week early. Thea Schulzen is our resident this year. She moved in last Friday or so, maybe Thursday. There was a crew up there working on the weekend, and this coming weekend, activity will start in earnest. So we're there. I've been spending a lot of time, as Michael has, helping Kimberly get the daytime stages staffed. Every time we think we have something that looks like it may be final, it turns out that it isn't, because somebody won't be around at that hour or that day. and we are addressing a lot of the hospitality, transportation, and stage presence issues. In that regard, I don't have too much else to add, but I would like to offer a special thanks to Eric Robbins tonight. Of the 80 or so emails that I received on festival business today, I got 3 from Eric, and all of his were productive. And I thank him for that. That's about all I have, Miles.
Thank you, Andy, and thank you, Eric. It must be nice to hear that your emails are productive and useful. I'm sure mine have not always been. So thanks for that, Eric Robbins. Thank you, Andy.
Yep.
Kimberly, did you have specific stuff you wanted to speak to? I bet you do.
Believe it or not, no, except I'm
Ah.
sorry, Andy, that my emails weren't productive today.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
it's all about 4-color cardstock.
So, last chance for the festival directors to add anything to the mix. Otherwise, we'll go to the question and answer session from the members. All right. If members, oh, Jess, go ahead. I see you.
I don't think I mentioned tune-up will be in your inbox by the end of the month this weekend. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We will be hitting Tony Trishka. Somebody asked this question as a promotional piece, because a lot of people know Tony. That will indeed happen. All right. So we're going to go to question and answers. Try to keep it brief, please. Please don't repeat if somebody, you're good at that, crowd, but just in case. So Mara Levine, go ahead, my friend.
You're muted.
You're muted, Mara. Mara, you're muted.
Yes, so it was not mentioned the date of our Zoom open mic, which is going to be July 17th for anyone who's interested. So I want to just mention that. And yes, Rob did touch on the show tomorrow. Hope everyone can come to the Falls. Or the other quick things we have coming up for MAC. We have a Return to Fest celebration and Get People Out to Fest concert at the Falzer Club on July 11th with the Bent Benjamins, Matthew Gordon, and Lise Jeanette. So come out for that. That's really going to be, again, a push for Fest. And we have the Hatboro Library free lunchtime concert series with 5 of our artists. And that was put up on the flyer. Thank you, Jess, for putting that up. But do, look more for those from noon to about 1:30. Our MAC people on Friday afternoons, starting on July 12th, are going to be entertaining for free on the back lawn for anyone who wants to be outside rather than inside. That's pretty exciting. We're going to have our very first social and jam session on August 2nd at Malalani after Jesse Gimble performs from 7 to 8. People have been asking about jam sessions and being able to do song circles and socialize. So that is our first social and jams for members to come out and participate in another way, besides the open mic that was mentioned by Rob after the Keswick show on July 16th. So those are some exciting things that are happening. We do have another Fest celebration performance in August on the 7th with the Gene Smith Band, Ami Yaris, Rusty and Jan at the Warehouse. That is a free concert. So get everybody to come out and get your friends to come out. And again, we're going to be really pushing Fest at that performance. So that's some of the exciting things coming up with MAC. Oh, and I do have a question. Questions are always good. One thing that came up that I discussed with Rob was the fact that our tune-up, usually there's a little click-through thing at the top of the email that says click here for the tune-up. Suggestion is make that a lot bigger, because we do have some people who have approached us saying, we didn't even realize that the tune-up was somewhere. We thought that email is the tune-up. So if we could make that click-through bar pretty big at the top saying, tune-up, click here, that probably would be great. And then I do have a question, if anyone discussed the suggestion of a mass email, something that was just talked about as a possibility at one of the marketing meetings. to people who attended the last few festivals. If we can get a service that's really very cost effective to send out either a folded flyer or a postcard. And then the last was, what is the estimated cost of the festival? So those are the couple things I have. The click-through thing, again, that's not really a question, it's a suggestion. The question about mass emails, and then approximate cost. What does it cost?
Eric Robbins, do you want to answer that cost question? We don't entirely know yet, but
Well,
So the festival is approximately $1 million.
yeah, so I occasionally get people who stop me and give me great ideas and tell us how we should do the festival. And many of the ideas are good, and then they'll say, well, how much does it cost anyway? And I said, it looks like we're smaller than previous years, and it's gonna be $1 million. It's $1 million to put on a festival this size, and that's a hell of a lot of money. So, you know, it's very sobering when you think about that amount.
how much more do we need to raise?
We are at about 60% of ticket sales for what we're looking to do. And as Rob mentioned, on the fundraising side, we're about 80% of the fundraising.
So does that mean we still need to raise about another $500,000? I'm not clear what that means, about $500,000 ish.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good target.
Yeah, and we are, as I've said before, and as Kimberly has alluded to, and Michael has alluded to, we're in that slump period where the people who are the diehards already bought their tickets, and the people who are going to wait till the last 30 days haven't bought their tickets. So we're in that funny period of the doldrums.
That's where the mailing would come in, and the suggestion that came up in one of the marketing meetings. Kimberly's raising her hand about that, I think.
Go ahead, Kimberly.
Yeah, I just wanted to, Mara, get back to you that we have, Jess has uploaded the 2022 attendees into Robley, and starting in July, the festival will be sending out a newsletter at least every 2 weeks, probably every week as we ramp up, because we have so much news to share. So hopefully that will ensnare people who read emails. As far as mailing out, I will leave that to Jess, because I'm not sure we have the bandwidth, nor do we have the funds for that.
Okay, good, thank you. Jack, go ahead, my friend.
Sometimes it takes a while for the thing to unmute after you click it. I just wanted to say, boy, is it a vibrant society right now. I mean, you folks have really done one heck of a job, and there are so many. It's just amazing. Just amazing. That's about it.
Thank you, Jack. I don't usually do this, but a question did come up from Cliff in the text box, asking about specifically family-friendly plans, kid family-friendly planning for Dulcimer Grove, etc. And Andy, Michael, Kimberly, do you want to give some of a sketch on that? Andy is muted.
Does that keep?
Yeah.
I didn't do it. Maybe Six did it. I don't know. We are still working on a lot of that. We have planned a children's concert for Sunday, as we always do. It is likely that Kathy Fink and Marcy Markser will be doing that. We have some negotiations going on with the jugglers, and I'm not sure where that's going to lead, but we are in touch with the Give and Take people. We also have an open thing we're looking at where we may be putting into the Grove a songwriting exercise that will involve kids in much the same way that the Groove Band works with instruments, but having the kids participate in a group and writing songs that they will then be able to perform down there in the Grove. I'm not sure where that's going to lead either, but it is on the fire. And we do have the great Groove Band already hired, and they will be doing what they always do. There'll be 3 days of rehearsals up in the lobby tent in the morning up until noon, and they will be the lead act on the Sunday concert. While I'm thinking of it, that concert will start at 3 o'clock. The afternoon evening concert will be at 3 o'clock this year, and 4 o'clock to midnight on Saturday. We did that to accommodate a larger representation on the main stage. And of course, we close up early on the main stage on Sunday, looking for about 9:30. And it will also allow us to close down the side stages early and let our volunteers get home for the rest of their vacation or a work day or whatever Monday means to them.
Whatever Monday means to you. Thank you, Andy.
Yep.
Eric Ring, do you want to answer that question that was embedded in Cliff's query about ticket sales in relation to previous years? It's not quite an apples to apples comparison, but
yeah. And Cliff, it's a good question, and it's something that we've thought about and wrestled with for since we decided to put the festival on again. The one issue is that there's sort of a lack of data that really kind of compares when the ticket sales occurred previously, and this year is very different. We started the process later compared to other years, so it's not really apples to apples kind of a situation. We had looked at it, and we know that there's a lot of people that buy the tickets in the beginning. We know that there's a lull, and we know that there's a lot of people that buy tickets at the end, but there's no way to really compare it. And even next year, if again, assuming everything goes the way we hope it goes, it's going to be a different year than even this year.
So yeah, it's an all apples to oranges comparison. So, but the reality is we need to sell, about same number of tickets we've already sold. A little more would be good. So that's where we are. Charlie Miller, go ahead.
Okay, unmuted, and I think I'm videoed. Hey, I just wanted to let everybody know that there will be a campfire this year on the stage behind me. It may not look the same, but we're hoping to get the stage there, have lights and sound by Ernie Bowie, which has been the best sound in the campground. And we have a suggestion that Thursday night, after the Thursday night concert, we kick off the campfire with a body song circle. Actually, we're looking for somebody to lead the body song circle. I only know a very few body songs, believe it or not. So, get in touch with me. Let me know if you want to lead or participate in the body song circle, and we'll see you at the campfire.
Thanks, Charlie. So yes, we are. I got this email or text from Ernie today looking for suggestions for somebody to be a leadoff performer and kind of get us in the right mood for the body songs. So, so if somebody has a legit, send it over to me. If somebody has suggestions. All right, thank you. I don't see any other questions that are raised from the membership. And that tells me that we ran a pretty informative meeting, and we need what we need to have gotten across, we got across. So thank you all very much. I would like to, hey, we're coming in at just about an hour, folks. Let me, I'd like to have somebody move that we officially adjourn this meeting? Will somebody move?
I
Okay.
move to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you. Somebody second? Eric moves,
Second.
Eric seconds. Thank you. All in favor to adjourn the meeting, raise your hand, say aye on the board. Rob, one or the other, raise your hand or say aye. Thank you. Good. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all very much. This may be a record in terms of meetings of coming in just under an hour. Thank you to Six. Thank you for Annie to helping us. Thank you all for being here. And